right, fam. Welcome back to the Man Cave. I am your host, Luther Harris. My co-host is here with me tonight, Michael McGrail, and we have a special call for y'all tonight. Last week we got to hear from the heart of corporate with Joy Russell. Tonight we get to hear from one of our diamond male brand ambassadors and my guy, Justin Goff, who I'm so excited to have with us tonight. Before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about Plexus. For those of you who may be watching this later on a replay and may not know what Plexus is. Plexus is the original gut health company founded in 2008. We have 16 years, I repeat, 16 years of experience and expertise in the gut microbiome. Okay, that means we have been doing gut health before gut health was cool, right? A lot of people like to say there's not a lot of research around gut health. We got it. Okay, we have it. We understand the gut microbiome. Matter of fact, we are founded in gut health and we are experts in the microbiome. This company does gut health. It is what we do. And this community is a like-minded group of people who love to love people well, serve people well by sharing health and happiness with them. Okay. It just so happens tonight we're going to be doing a lot of talking about the business, okay? But it just so happens that you can share health and happiness with people. You can get healthy, they can get healthy, and you can help support your family. Okay, tonight we're going to see a fantastic example of that. And my brother Justin Goff, I'm not going to try to do some elaborate thing because I know he has some heat for y'all tonight. So, Justin, my guy, so glad you're here. I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away, brother.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys, for showing up. I like seeing everybody on here. If you can, I know everybody's busy, but if you could turn your camera on, it's always encouraging to see people's faces. Let's see. Who's got the Michael McGrail? Is that a diamond seat cover from is that a diamond seat cover from Conviction?
Oh, it definitely is. I'm going to earn it one
Absolutely.
day.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. So, hey, great to see you guys. Great to be on here with you. We're going to see how this goes tonight. We'll see what comes up. We'll see what comes out. See if there's any questions. We have to move it to another Zoom from here. Let's do it. Like, I'm open for whatever you guys want. And so I'm just going to give a little bit of background, just my story real fast, and then we can go from there. We can even open it up to questions, whatever you guys might want to do. I'm here for you. So whatever it is you need, whatever I can do to help you be successful, that's what I'm here to do. So my journey with Plexus started in 2015, May of 2015. I was a road construction supervisor at the time. So we built highways, we built interstates, city roadways, bridges, airports, whatever. And so I was in charge of projects like that. And there's two things I always wanted to do in life. And from a young age, I wanted to be a soldier and I wanted to be a father. And so I was able to be a soldier at a young age, and I was thankful for that. And then my kids started coming along. I have 7 children, 5 sons and 2 daughters. And as soon as, everything changed for me when my oldest son, Samuel, was born. Like, I just became a new person. And I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a father. And so that's really my heart in light of life, to be honest with you. And so I was working road construction, all these things. And I'd be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, just like maybe some of you. You're up early. I'd get up, I'd have to check the weather, and then I'd have to get to work. And then there was no time when I got off. There was no bell. Like, we didn't just get off at 2 or 3 or whatever. We got off when the job was done for the day. And it could have been 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You never knew. Now, I'm sharing this because I want to appeal to your heart as men, and then what really drew me to Plexus. And so I think that's the power with my story. And so I was just tired, and I was tired of not being home, to be honest with you. I wanted to be home more. I loved my job. I loved the guys, but I was like, man, this thing's going fast. My kids are growing fast, and I feel like I'm missing it. And I'm like, that's not acceptable. There has to be something else. So we started praying for a business opportunity, my wife and I. And at the time, she was sick. We were praying for her health. Her health was going down fast. And I was tired. And so she was sick. I was tired. So we just got to praying. And I was praying. My goal was probably to come home and then start a concrete company of some sort and just do some work like that with the boys. And I would have been thrilled with that. However, God had other plans for us. And my wife found out about Plexus. So she started taking the products. I, as a male, just said, if you pack them in my lunchbox, I'll take the products. I don't have time to mess with all this. Do they work or not? I don't really care. I don't know. I don't care about the ingredients. Just put them in my lunchbox. I'll take them. And I did. And so this is summer of 2015, and I started to see great results pretty fast. For me, I saw weight loss. I saw an increase in energy. My sleep got better. Inflammation in all my joints were definitely reduced. Regularity, my gut was a disaster. It was like a bipolar gut, man. I had you never knew which gut was going to show up and each day. So it was a roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Maybe something will happen with my gut today. Maybe nothing. You just never knew. But thanks to Plexus, I'm regular now, and I got no problem sharing that with other people. It's an amazing thing to be regular. And so those things, I was 2.5 pots of coffee a day when I was back in road construction days. And that was just to stay awake. I have to take a nap on the way home. And maybe some of you can relate to that. And so Plexus really changed everything and started to change things for me quickly that summer. So the products, I was sold on the products. And we were supplement takers before Plexus, but I never saw the results that I saw with Plexus. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm in. And so she didn't even have to pack them in my lunchbox anymore. I packed them myself because I was feeling great. And then again, we were praying for a business opportunity because I really wanted to be home more. And I came home one day and Megan was like, hey, there's a business opportunity with Plexus. And my response, as a loving husband, was like, no way. Like, I am not doing network marketing or Plexus. Those things are illegal. Like, pyramid schemes, no one makes any money, all these blah, 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 all the things that we have heard and said probably. And she's like, do you mind if I start sharing on Facebook? And I was like, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I said, but I'm not telling anybody about this. She's like, okay. So 2 weeks go by, and we got, back then, 2015, we still had direct deposit, but you also got a check stub in the mail to show you what you earned. And I came home from work one day, and she's like, check this out. And it was the check stub was for $300. And again, as the loving leader of my bride, I was like, is this legal? Like, what kind of trouble have you got? Like, why are they sending you money? She's like, well, I don't know. I was just sharing with some people online. No clue on the compensation plan. Just sharing what the products are doing for us is all she was doing. And she made $300. And once I determined, I think I might have called the bank and just double check, like, did we get $300 from some place in Arizona? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, I sent you real money. So I thought, it takes me a lot of hours away from home to make $300. And so I thought, and I love these products already. So I'm going to start studying network marketing. I'm going to start studying Plexus as a company. And at that time, Megan, my wife, won the Silver Stars. If any of you are familiar with that, it's like the top 3 people a month or whatever it is, a month or a quarter, that developed the most silvers out of all Plexus. My wife won that. So the skeptical husband, me, go out to Arizona with her, and I'm asking Tarl and Alec like all these weird questions to see if I can find some chinks in their armor or a problem with like integrity or something. And I'm sure they were wondering, who invited this clown? Like, this is supposed to be a celebration, and he's trying to find out if we're a pyramid scheme or not. So anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I told her, I'm like, I love these products. You just made $300. It takes me a lot of hours away from home and away from the kids to make $300. I'm going to start studying this thing of network marketing. So I just went to work. As my friend Bill Ferry, he's on here with the not vegan shirt. Love it. Yeah. And so, as Bill has always said to me, you have to be a student of the game. You have to be a student of the game. And so when I saw the potential, I went to work. And I can't pan my computer here, but I have 75, 80 books just on the few shelves right here. And a lot of them are business books and network marketing books. And what I started to see early on when I was doing my research, I'm like, there's all these like titans of the business world are putting their stamp of approval on network marketing. Why do I hate? I hated network marketing because I'd only heard bad things about it. I'd never heard anything good. I had never had a bad or good experience with network marketing. I had no experience with network marketing. So I was just regurgitating something I had heard from somebody else, and it had developed an opinion of mine, which is a terrible way to make decisions in life, but that's how I was making decisions about network marketing. So I started studying and reading about all these people like Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, Tony Robbins, on and on and on. And they were all putting their stamp of approval on this industry of network marketing. And I thought, these are like titans of the business world. I'm in, like, let's go. And so summer of 2015, I just got to work, started sharing with the guys on my crew, sharing products with them, sharing products with friends on Facebook, wherever, family, whatever it is, network. And that was the summer of 2015. By September of 2016, our business had grown. Megan was an emerald by then, my wife, and I was a senior Ruby. And I left road construction that September of 2016 on our first trip to Hawaii, and I never went back. And I've been home ever since. Coming up now on 8 years home next month, as we head to Maui next month for our, I don't know how many times now, a bunch. And I've been home ever since. And so, I mean, that's just a real fast story. I have so many stories I could share of things done right, things done wrong. But my one thing is to encourage you guys, like, the opportunity with Plexus is bigger than you even think. And it's not like the market's saturated. I mean, there's still people killing it. My wife just hit diamond re-entry emerald. And we live in a town with extremely spotty internet and 700 people. And so the opportunity is there. And really, in my opinion, from what I've studied in network marketing, it's probably one of the greatest industries on the planet. It's something you can do full-time. It's something you can do part-time. It can be a side gig, a side hustle, side money. It can be a full-time career. You get to name, there's no other industry, in my opinion, where you get to name what you want it to be like this. And this isn't, you want to talk about equal opportunity? There's nothing better than network marketing. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl or black or white or Christian or atheist, old, young, college educated, not college. None of that matters in network marketing. Like, this is network marketing levels the playing field when it comes to business. And I'm not extremely smart person. And so, I mean, if you're looking for great intelligence, you came to the wrong place. I'm wearing I don't know, skull and cross rifled shirt and a Hoyt archery hat. And so, like, some short shorts and house slippers. So it's not like you're coming to, like, I just want to encourage you guys, like, the opportunity is there, and it's for you. It's not just for women. And again, I could have never scripted or dreamed that, one, I'd ever be in network marketing. It was never part of the program. The other thing is, I never would have dreamed like we've been able to do what we've done with Plexus. And none of this is a brag at all. It's just facts, but like, we're able to give as much as I used to make. Like, I don't know if you ever have had money. I've had some money, I've had no money. And I'm pretty much the same guy, just whatever. I got a nicer bow that I used to have for hunting, but but giving is one of the funnest things you can do with money, and Plexus has opened a whole new world for us in light of that. And it's through this thing of network marketing. And so, and the cool thing is there's no cap, like there's no ceiling. We're resetting our goals now, 9 years in. We're resetting our goals to numbers like, and my wife and I are like, let's do it. Why not? Let's go do it. And we're restructuring how we do business. We were on the porch this morning talking about, all right, what's the new marketing scheme look like? What are we doing? How are we going to get people on that Alaskan cruise next year that aren't even on our team yet? How are we going to market to those people? Where are they at? Let's go find them. And so like, we're in. And like I said, like network marketing is just not for just anybody. Honestly, it's for everybody. There is no person that network marketing is not for. As long as you're willing to serve people, as long as you're willing to talk with people and share with them what you've got. I mean, network marketing could be for all of us. And so anyway, I can go on and on and on about a lot of these things. I feel like there might be some questions. Or what do you want to do, Luther? You're the man here. So what do you got going, buddy? What do you think?
Man, look, we can open up the floor right now for questions if you want to. We typically do that. We stay a little bit after the call for a little question and answer session. So, and we can do it right now, live on recorded. So, if y'all have anybody have any questions for Justin, like y'all understand you have an opportunity right now to ask a Diamond brand ambassador who has been there, right? Like he has done what we are trying to do. Y'all just heard him. He gives what he used to make. Like, can you imagine? Like, no, legit. Imagine that. I want you to think about what you make right now. I want you to think about everybody on this call. Think about what you make right now. Working 9 to 5 on the grind every day, away from the house, beating the midnight or a whole 9. I want you to think about it. And then imagine if you had that extra to give. Right? To be a blessing to other people. Like that right there, bro, that set me up. I'm like, Justin, like, dude, okay, like getting to a point. No, they're not. Getting to a point where we can give what we are currently like, man, you know how I'm a huge believer, right? Like those who know me know that about me. And one of the things that being financially strapped does is it makes you operate with closed fists. And I don't believe that's how we're called to operate. I believe we're called to operate with open hands, right? Like truly. I want to be able to walk into the grocery store, see a single mom struggling, and just buy her cart without thinking about it. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I want to hear of a need. I had an old dude when I first started going to church, where I go to church. Now I never forget this, y'all, because I said to myself then, I'm going to do this one day. I'll never forget. I was trying to get out of debt. I had a $540 truck payment, and my wife and I were about to get married. I was trying to figure it out, right? And I knew, okay, if we are going to be straight, I have to sell this truck. And so my buddy was so gracious to let me put his truck on the lot. Like God just surrounded me with all these awesome people. But here's the deal. When you sell your truck on consignment, you still got to be making the payments, right? And this guy said $540 note. And this guy said, Luther, what do you need from me? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what I need. I'm just trying to figure it out. He said, how much is your car note? I said, it's $540 a month. He said, how about this? I'll pay your car note until you get it sold. What? This guy who just, like, we've known each other for for a year, year and a half, something like that. But he was a man of God who had the means, and he knew that I was trying to do the right thing by my family, by my future family. All he wanted to do was give. Nah, man, I'll pay your car note until you get it sold, and you don't even need to pay me back. What? Imagine, y'all. I want you to imagine, right? If every man on this call took up that kind of heart for other people. I don't know if y'all know this, but the world getting kind of crazy, and we need dudes to step up and, one, be strong in their faith, and two, love people really, really, really well. That's the problem. That's the problem. Society convinced the man that his place is outside of the home, and the only thing that you have to do is provide for your family. You don't have to be present. As long as you provide, you fine. But we've had this talk on this call before. Presence is greater than provision. I don't care what you provide. If you're not present, it doesn't matter. And Justin has given y'all the example. He said, I wanted to be a present father. And he went out and made it happen. And he told y'all tonight, you can do it too. So what's the excuse? What's the holdup? What's holding us back, guys? We can all go out here and do what Justin has done. And he's willing, like, I know Justin's heart. If you have a question for Justin tonight, ask it. He's gonna answer it. I know my guy Sean had his hand up earlier. So Sean, I hope I didn't make your question go away. But Sean, if you got a question, man, jump right on in, bro.
Oh no, man. No, I actually typed it so I wouldn't forget it.
I got you. I see it.
Yeah. Basically, my question was, what was your biggest obstacle to overcome when you started out in your first 3 months?
Like when I very first started?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to answer your question along with Rob Porritt. Where's Rob at? Rob's on here somewhere. Rob's question was, what was your typical work day when you first got going? And Sean's question is, what was your biggest obstacle to overcome when you started out in the first 3 months? The same answer for both questions. We can knock two questions out with one answer. My typical work day when I first started looked like this. I was up at 4 a.m. checking the weather, drinking coffee. I went to work, and then I quit going to lunch with the guys. If we had time for a lunch, sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. I quit going to lunch with the guys. And then during the lunchtime, if we had lunchtime, I worked my Plexus business and reached out to people during my lunchtime. And then when I got off work, which was, who knows, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, I would come home, put the kids to bed, and Megan and I would work until probably midnight, 1 o'clock, reaching out to people about Plexus business, Plexus opportunity. And then I'd be back up at 4 a.m. the next morning.
AKA make it happen.
So but the thing was, here's the thing, we saw the potential, and when we went for it, and we went through a bunch of stuff in that time. We went through not everybody, that's not true. Some, and you'll have this, you guys will have this. Look at what they're doing now. And Megan and I have always been outside the box. I can't wait till the next thing God shows us to do, because it'll be way even farther outside the box, whatever that may be. I mean, I welcome it, whatever that is. And so, like, we just saw the potential. And so, and we just ran with it. And we worked. We worked. And so that's something we've always known how to do, is work. And so this was just a different type of work than what I was used to. I was used to a shovel or, whatever. I was used to calluses on my hands and that sort of work, but this was a different type of work. But it's work. And I think that's one thing that some people in this business, when you start off, it's like, you can just fill this in your nooks and crannies and talk to a couple people and make a post, and then you'll be diamond too. Hasn't been my experience. Network marketing is a great opportunity, but it's not get rich quick.
Nope.
That's what, and it takes work. I honestly wish there was a shortcut in life to wealth or to riches or success. I just haven't found it. And so network marketing is no different. It's going to take work. And then if I coached some of the people on this of why you're not where you want to be at this point, we could probably dial it back down to that. You're probably not putting in as much work as you really need to. It does take a lot of work. So that's what the schedule looked like. And we were tired, and we said no to a lot of things. We said no to a lot of evening time things because we saw the potential and what it could be for our future, and we went for it. So that's what it looked like definitely at the beginning.
So summarizing real quick, you believed in the potential that you saw, correct?
Yep.
Let me tell y'all something about belief. Okay. Belief will dictate your behavior.
Yep.
Belief will dictate your behavior. So ask yourself when you like, I'm talking to myself right now, right? When you hesitating on the reach outs, you're hesitating or man, do I reach out to this person? What do I say? Blah, 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 blah. What do you believe this opportunity has to offer? What do you believe these products have to offer? Right? Because if you believe that everybody on here has seen results, I'm sure. Everybody on here has seen results, period. So we got belief in the products. Now we have to have that same belief in the business. We've seen it work for people like Justin and Megan in a town of 700 people. And where y'all at? What state?
It's either 700, 800, or 900. There's 3 different population signs in town. So you pick one.
Right.
We're in the middle of nowhere in Illinois, central Illinois.
It's like 3.6 million, y'all. Like there's no excuse, right? There's just no excuse. Like our job is to go out, connect, and have so much passion and belief in what this has to offer that we share that belief. Like we begin to act as if we already there, right? I'm sure Megan and Justin were sharing like they were diamonds before they knew what diamonds were.
Let me speak to that real quick too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not necessarily what you would probably call a humble person, necessarily. I'm just being honest. I think I have great confidence in myself and what God's given me, as far as ability and things like that. And Megan does too. She probably has more than I do. She's incredible. And so but our first goal wasn't diamond either. I mean, our first goal was to get enough money to pay for our family's products because we had the kids on the products, me, my wife on the products. And so it was a gradual, we saw that we have potential to succeed. Like my mindset, like if I go and I put my name in for a free sweepstakes, like, I don't know if you like Cameron Haynes, if you ever heard of that guy, he's pretty amazing. Like he's giving away a Ford Raptor or something. Like if I put my name in the sweepstakes, like I expect to win. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'm deceived, but I'm like, somebody's got to win. Why not me? And so like, that's just my take on life. And so we set our goals first. The first goal was to make enough money each month to pay for our products. We got that goal. And then the next goal was, well, we need a new car. And then we bought a new car. And it's like, well, I'd like to pay the house off. And then we paid the house off. And so some of those things were more like monetary based goals, not necessarily rank. I mean, you could equate rank to a certain amount of money pretty much, if you go off the average pay each month. And we just kept building from there. And I remember early on, Megan was probably a gold. And she had just signed me up because she told me, she's like, yeah, you're an ambassador now. I'm like, what's that mean? Like, I didn't even sign myself up. She signed me up to go gold. I mean, you got to watch her, dude. She's wild. And so I remember where we were. Bill knows where it's out by Dan Brown's house. We were heading north by Dan Brown's house, coming up that hill. I still remember it today. And Megan said, I'm going to be a diamond. She just spoke it right out as a gold. And she hit diamond like fast. She'll be a double diamond. It won't take too long. And I'm not trying to like, she's just like, so the goals started pretty small and then they just grew, and our goals are still growing, and Plexus is still able to meet those goals and beyond. There's people that make us look like paupers in Plexus. Like it's, I mean, like it's pretty crazy. And so anyway, we can look at some more questions. I could probably chat all night. So
Justin, can I read in between the lines here as you're talking about the hours that you're putting in to share?
yeah.
You know, it was pointed out to me. I've been with the company not quite as long as you, but somebody said something to me that really made so much sense, and it sounds like your experience. Our growth as men, we expect that we're going to be compensated for the time that we work, right? You're going to work on a highway, you're there for 12 hours, you're getting paid for time and a half for 4 hours and 8 hours of regular time, whatever it may be, whatever your contract says. Network marketing isn't like that. And when you talk about like, I was up until 1, I was up until 2, at the very beginning, that line of income, like over here is your money and over here is your time. And that line isn't really very steep as you're getting started. But there's a point in time when you're staying up later and you're still doing the things. You're still talking to the people. But now you have 3 or 4 more people on. You have a call with, what do we have here? Like 18 people. And you're talking to those 18 people. This line is no longer linear because it's growing exponentially. Now it takes a real steep curve and your time becomes a whole lot more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no other industry in the world that you can make your time more valuable simply by multiplying. And is that your experience? Because that sounds really like what you went through. And it's hard to imagine initially, like, I'm going to go work in highways with 3 hours of sleep. But when you can imagine that growth and when you can envision what that's going to be, I find a lot of comfort in that personally.
Yeah. So so what is the question exactly that you're like as far as building at the beginning, that linear line you're talking about, how it
and was that your experience that you started out kind of linear? Maybe it was flat for a little bit and then all of a sudden it just took off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $300 in the first paycheck, that's nothing to sneeze at for learning how to do something you've never done before.
Yeah. And so I think one thing is that like when you're talking about the $300 when Megan started sharing, she wasn't really even sharing for a business. That came, kind of later a little bit. She saw blood in the water at like silver, and she's like, "Let's go." And said, like, yeah, that was almost 9-10 years ago, and she hasn't slowed down since. And so it's, but yeah, at the beginning, and here's another thing: everybody's network is different, so you can glean. So I want to be careful here because network marketing, this has to do with your network, and your network is different than mine, and mine's different than yours. And so everybody's team is structured a little bit different too. Some get one runner underneath them, and then they just need to maintain some outside leg points, and they're, diamond forever. And so, and so for Megan and I'll get back to your thing, but like we have recruited hundreds of level 1s, like hundreds of level 1s. We just under Megan's original leg. I don't have any diamonds under me. I have one non-ranking emerald under me, and everybody else is like gold, senior golds, rubies, one senior ruby. And so I just want to point something out. Like everybody's team is structured different. And I think ours is extremely healthy because we don't have like a one trick pony. You know what I'm saying? We don't have just like one diamond underneath us. We have a lot of level ones underneath us, which is a very healthy team, in my opinion, because you're not just depending on one person under you. And so when we first started, we weren't even looking for business builders, to be honest with you. We didn't start looking for business builders. Okay. One of my sons, my office has become like the hunting shack. So he's coming in to get his arrows and his bow to shoot at night for some reason. But anyway, put his Luminox on. But so when we started, we honestly didn't sneaking out. So anyway, so sorry. When we started, we signed up a lot of level ones, and we honestly we weren't even sharing the business. We saw the business potential and all of that stuff, but honestly, we were very product heavy people. We had saw such great results with our products. That was our testimony at the time. So we were sharing our health testimony, and that's really how we build our business all the way up to Jewel. But we didn't start sharing until we didn't really start sharing the business until probably we talked a little bit about the business, but we didn't start sharing the business with others until we were already jewels, because we started looking around like the people at the very top here share the business. Like if we want to keep this thing going, we need to start sharing the business. Not that we're against the products or anything like that, but so as far as that line, again, it's different for every team and every organization, I think. But ours, we just signed a truckload of level ones to start off. We talked to everybody. Like we weren't looking for 1 and 2. We were looking for like 1 and 200, and we signed them. We had a great network at the time. When we started Plexus, we had a good name. We had a good testimony. People trusted us, and it just took off really from there. Hopefully that kind of answers your question. But at some point it does turn. At some point, it's like, at some point the math makes no sense. Like at some point, the snowball starts rolling like in your favor, and you start gaining steam. But the only way for that really to happen is not through the products. The only way for that to happen is through sharing the business and helping people succeed in the business. And then you're not really adding people, you're multiplying people on your team. Because it's not just you doing the work, it's like a team of people adding, and you'll get, we've had months, I don't even know, where you have 1,000 people or whatever, 500 people join your team. That's not us. Like that's the team effort. And so it's like, it's kind of crazy. And so, and humbling too, and I'll say this as far as, because, Plexus is not a, there are no Rambos or Clint Eastwoods in Plexus. It's a team sport. And so as you're getting advice from people, try not to get advice from people that look at it otherwise. Like this is a team effort. I don't care who you are. This is a team sport. So, yep. Let's see. There's a couple questions on here. One.
I think you covered most.
I thought there was one more. Oh, how many business targets or social media friends? How many do you seek out in public? I think that's up to the individual. For me, I prefer people in person over social media. That's just me. My wife prefers social media because she can multitask and do other things. I think that's just my perspective. I like to look in people's eyes. I like to see where they're at, if they're engaged or not. I like to see what they do with their hands. All those things are telltale signs to me of whether the conversation's going anywhere or not. And
Yeah.
so I prefer that personally.
I think that's the case. I think most men are gonna find that in person. Like even if you ask, I did a call a few weeks ago. You can find the recording on YouTube with Ronnie Quavich. Like when Plexus first started, I mean, it was 2008. Like social media wasn't even big yet, and he would literally get out of football practice. His wife would pick him up in the car, and then they drive to wherever to go host an in-person Plexus event, and then they sign up a bunch of people because in person people can feel your passion, people can see that purpose, that your purpose, people can understand more often than like the most awkward thing for me is doing reach outs on social media, right? Like I much rather just say to somebody, hey, my wife and I are doing this thing, I'd love to meet with you, have coffee and talk about it. Is that something you'd be open to? And make a touch base with them, and whether or not they, and I pay for their coffee or whatever, but whether or not they sign up, neither here nor there, but it's about making those connections and making those contacts. We got to understand, like, it's a numbers game. Less than 2% of people sign up on the first contact, y'all. And you got to get out of your head, like I've been in my head, like you reach out to somebody, they don't respond. That's fine. That's okay. If they don't say, hey, leave me alone, right? Like that's somebody that you follow up with a few weeks down the road, right? And just understanding that it takes now 18 to 20 exposures for somebody before they're like, especially over social media, before they're like, cool, I'm going to do that thing.
Yeah.
Right. And they want to, honestly, most people are just watching you to see if you're going to be consistent. Nothing says I'm passionate about something than being consistent with it. Right? If you show up every 2-3 weeks on social media and you're like, well, they're not responding to me. Might be why. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, oh, they kind of in there, they kind of out, right? And you got to come with a different energy.
Where's Willie at? There's Willie. Okay, right in the middle. He asked a question. That's a good question. How do you overcome the negative feed or backlash from friends or coworkers?
Real quick, Willie, when you say negative, do you mind speaking up? We want to make sure that we frame the answer to your question appropriately. Here, I'm gonna do that to see if that gives you a button. Still can't hear you.
Unmute. Thank you. Yeah. Where's my millennials when I need them? So, like, yeah, like I get some people like I just went silver in like a couple weeks.
Good job.
And
awesome.
And I'm like you. I was actually I'm a truck driver, but I'm a local truck driver where I just run a route and I'm home every night and like UPS or FedEx type stuff. So basically, I've got a lot of guys that need to hydrate. They need the energy. They don't need to be drinking all that crap that's going to give them a sugar crush or a sugar crash. So like I've been like pushing it, not really pushing it, but and I don't come at them like, hey man, you need this. I'll just have my drink. And I had a guy the other day, like I had my water, I had my tea because I love that replenish and rehydrate stuff. But he's like, what do you got in that water bottle? That looks like a Newcastle beer. And I was like, nah, man, I found it out in the parking lot. I was just going to throw it away. It looks like urine. And he was like, haha. So we're joking around. Then I'm like, no, seriously, I'm taking this, all natural plant-based, supplement that's helping me with my gut health and stuff. And just gave him my little spill, but I didn't go after him. So I've had certain people, like they asked me about it. I mentioned it to them. And then I get the negative. And when I heard about it, I was just like you. I was saying they're asking like, well, it's kind of like a pyramid scheme, but it's not a pyramid scheme, and
Right.
this and that. And so I get backlash from that when I talk about it. And I'm just wondering, like, how does people that have achieved certain levels, like to me, I just let it roll off my shoulder like rainwater. I don't worry about it. So I'm long-winded. Anyway, your turn.
All right, let me ask you a question. So, like, outside of Plexus, what else do you like to drink, or I don't know, whatever? Something
Okay, so
what do you like?
before Plexus, I was drinking a 12-pack of Pepsi every 2 days. I was drinking Crown out the wazoo. And my fiance, she's the one that got me hooked up on this. I was actually I had a vacation. I was building a deck because I used to be a contractor back in the day. So I got into trucking when the housing market crashed. So basically I was going down and buying those flash IVs for $4 or $5 a bottle, trying to rehydrate, summer heat, humidity, all that stuff. I'm just your neighbor. I'm east of you over here in Indiana. Super hot. I'm trying to build this deck by myself. And she's like, here, try this stuff. I try it. Same thing. I was like the Red Bull, the Monsters, all that energy, 220 calories, and in like 3 weeks, I lost 26 pounds.
Good.
Switching just to Plexus. And I went from drinking almost zero water because I'd always tell her Crown has water in it, Pepsi has water in it,
Right.
Mountain Dew has water in all that stuff.
All right.
So sorry.
No, you're good. Good. Thanks. I appreciate that. And awesome on the 26 pounds. That's insane. That's
I'm not done yet.
Keep going, dude. And so, like,
Yeah.
this is the point I want to get to. And so, like, when let's say your favorite thing was Pepsi, or your favorite thing was Crown Royal, it doesn't really matter. This is just an example. Right. Like, then you're at work and you're walking in with a Crown Royal. Maybe you got a Crown and Pepsi. I don't know what you roll with, whatever you do.
Right.
And one of the guys like, hey, what do you got there in that cup? Well, this is I don't even know where Crown Royal is made at. Let's say you're drinking some
Canada, technically.
Okay, perfect. And so it's like, so when you answer the question to them, you don't say, well, this is a Canadian made whiskey called Crown Royal and Pop and Pepsi and things like that. You would have answered it like, this is Crown, man. This is my favorite.
Right.
So like when someone asks you what you got in your bottle, like when you're going into work, this is an all natural Plexus supplement, blah, 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 blah. And like just less words, like guy speak.
Right. Well, I mean, I do. I mean, it's not like really into it like that.
So I'm just saying, I'm just going off of what you shared. And so like I'm just saying like, hey, this is the drink that helped me lose 26 pounds in 2 weeks or whatever it was.
Right. I got you.
And that's it.
Yeah. I just didn't know, like,
conversation done. Like, and they got all the information and they need. I just want to throw that out there. So like when we're talking, and this isn't just for you, Willie, this is for all of us. And it's something I had to learn and still learning, by the way. I don't have it figured out. But when we're talking to guys, and we have to remember we're talking to guys, and so for me, like when I was talking to guys and trying to get guys interested in stuff, I had my elevator speech ready. I'm not saying you did, but I just want to share this. And so like, well, this is a all natural supplement. It's got this and it's got chromium in it and all these things. And they look at me like, huh? And so, and so my point is, as they're asking, I mean, just answer simply and just with absolute facts from your experience, like, this is a drink to help me lose 26 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's called Slim, or it's called.
Well, it might have been like 3 weeks, or I didn't really like. All I know is when she first started, like, she did the triplex, and she ordered it for me. And she's like, I want you to try this out. I started that, and so, but it was really like the peach and tea flavor, the lemon lice. But she's been doing it for like 4 years and trying to get me on board. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that because I was so used to all the sugar drinks. And here's the other thing. A testimony is one day I forgot to pack it in my own lunchbox because I was like you. I just started packing the stuff myself. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. I go to work. I got my water bottles, but I got no Plexus. And I'm like, I'm just gonna run in here to this gas station and grab me like, something to drink. I walked up and down that refrigeration area looking at everything and just walked out. And I was like, I'll just drink plain water because everything else just turned me off. I lost that sugar high. I don't have that. I need that fix, And then even like with the alcohol, because I found out from other research that once you consume alcohol, that affects your liver, which shuts down anything that you're trying to do with your body. If you're trying to clean your gut out and you want to drink, if you're drinking 12 beers and drinking Plexus, you're kind of you're kind of going against yourself.
You
But if
actually
you
got
know,
a pretty cheap date. I've learned if you're on Plexus. I had some friends, some old Army friends message me. They're like, dang, dude, 2 beers and I was out. I'm like, well,
right.
this has helped you become a cheap date, I guess. Call it a win.
Well,
We'll call
yeah,
it a
I'm
win.
not Yeah, exactly. And that's what I found out about, like the whole your gut health. You're getting rid of that yeast liner and stuff, which allows you to consume.
Right.
Your body's able to pull more of those proteins, vitamins. If you're taking vitamins, you might have been taking 5 or 6 vitamins before. Now you're taking less. So in all, you're not only making money with Plexus by doing the business, being a BBB, but you're also pushing yourself to be like, hey, I'm spending less money on vitamins. I'm spending
Right.
less money on steak. I go out to the steakhouse. I don't have to eat the whole steak. I can take the other half home and have fajitas tomorrow for lunch.
I think one of the things is when you're talking to guys, I just want to share this real quick and then we can move on
Right.
to the next thing. But when you're talking to guys, men are interested in results.
Yeah,
We're not
exactly.
really we're not interested in ingredients. Does it work or does it not? I don't have time to jack around or not. You have a great
Right.
testimony. Just share your testimony fast, be drinking on the job. Someone asked, boom, this has helped me lose 26 pounds. You should check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And keep walking. Don't talk anymore.
Right.
Think,
Well, that's kind of hard for me.
oh, no, I mean, for guys, and they'll be like, I mean, because we're interested in results. Men are typically
Right. Exactly.
results, not information. And so now that may be different depending on the guy you're talking to, or if you're talking to a lady or whatever. I mean, you have to learn who you're talking
You got to
to.
read the room.
But yeah, so I would kind of go with that approach because your testimony and your personal results are incredible. And
Well,
so
thanks. Appreciate it. I'm proud of it.
you should be. Okay, Rolf, Sean, I had a couple of people ask me if this was it. Do we have to go, Luther? What do we got going on? I can stay on as long as I will stay up until the last dog dies. So I've got a coffee pot. I make a killer pour over.
Yeah.
I have the thing fired up. I'll stay all night if you want, but
Let me do this real quick. All right, for those who are watching this recording, thank y'all for tuning in. We are gonna keep going, but on the backside. But here's the deal: the products work, the business works. What are you waiting on? Jump in. We got a 60-day money back guarantee. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
yep.
Blank period. So we'll see y'all on the next Man Cave. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.